Hello and welcome to the Advice Nut, the Advice Nut at live.com, the Advice Nut at live.com. My email has been blowing up. I mean, blowing up. And it's a lot of people had emailed me because they had heard about it was this week on the Michael Basin show. That was either, I think, Thursday, where he was discussing about these two sisters. They're out of Mississippi, who've been incarcerated 14 to 15 years for a robbery, and they were sentenced to double life. And a lot of the titles that you can Google, double life for $11. These sisters were accused of, I believe they were accessories to a crime, stealing $11. Now, I Googled it and I read several articles on it, and they're a little distorted because every article says something different. So I'm not sure if it was a bank robbery. They had something to the effect of they had lured some men to this deserted place, and two or three other men drove up and robbed them at gunpoint. I read another article of the same thing, but they said that the $11 was a separate robbery. I'm not sure, but the one thing that we can all agree on in all the articles is that they were sentenced to prison for double life in Mississippi for robbery. And the NAACP is trying to assist in getting them out of prison. The women say they didn't do it. They said some of the guys who were actually involved got less time than they did. So I don't know. Like I said, I've read several articles and I couldn't get heads nor tails out of it. But the fact of the matter is they're in prison for double life and $11 was involved. And people seem to be in an uproar about this $11 that they sold. You lock somebody up for $11? Give them double life for $11? Well, when I heard about it, I said there's got to be something else to it. And it may be, it may not be. But let me just tell you my take on this. Now, forget about these two women because they say they're innocent. They may be innocent. They said that their conviction was all based on circumstantial evidence, that they never got to testify. So let's forget about these women as far as judging whether they did or they didn't. But let's imagine that we are the victims. Let's imagine that someone or some 2-3 people came up to you and put a gun to your head and demanded everything you got. Now, I've never been a victim, thank God, of a violent crime, but I know people have been. People still are being victimized. But someone comes up to you, put a gun up to your head, demand all your money. Imagine how you would feel. Okay? Just imagine. And regardless if it's $11 or $1,100, how would you feel when someone violates you? This may be your last $11 until payday. This $11 might buy you some oodles and noodles and a loaf of bread until payday. This $11 may have to carry you on a bus for the rest of the week, and someone violates you. This $11 you work hard for. And every dime you get in this time of recession, you need it. Imagine someone doing that to you. Imagine the police apprehended this person that violated you. I'm just curious to know what kind of sentence you believe these people deserve. What kind of sentence do you believe a person deserves that violates you, put a gun in your head, and takes your last $11? And I'm really interested in hearing it. Contact me at theadvicenut@live.com, theadvicenut@live.com. And I would like to hear what kind of sentence you think a person should get for violating you. Violating you for $11, putting a gun in your head and taking your last $11. And I also want to hear from people who have been victimized. Tell me how you felt and your experience, and what kind of sentence you believe that the person that violated you, what do you think, what kind of time you felt they should get? And I don't care how minute the crime was. I don't care if they stole from you. I don't care if they put a gun in your head to get it, a knife, threaten you. I want to know, what kind of sentence does a person get, you think a person should get for violating you? That's the advicenut@live.com, the advicenut@live.com. I look forward to hearing from you.